Last playtest highlighted a problem with two of the rules I'm most interested in getting working in Blades Macabre. What's the problem and how will I fix it? Let's find out. Some background. My testers are playing as mercenaries in the midst of a succession war. Their employer, one of the two claimants to the throne, has sent them to assassinate his rival. They've been slowly making their way to the enemy king's throne room, encountering a few groups of enemy soldiers and a significantly larger number of monsters. The most recent playtest was a straightforward fight with an enemy patrol that saw them pretty handily wipe out their enemies with no losses and enough resources left over to heal their own wounds completely. Here's the problem. A few sessions ago, I added rules for enemies becoming demoralized as their group gets killed off, as well as rules for preempting attacks if your weapon is longer than your enemy's, but I keep forgetting to apply those rules, and it's happened enough now that I need a better solution than try to remember it next time. So when a rule is constantly forgotten, there's basically three ways to interpret that. Option 1, it's a bad rule, cut it. Option 2, it's currently a boring rule, spice it up. Option 3, it doesn't tie into the other rules enough, give it some more interactions. Sometimes it's a mix of 2 and 3. In this case, I think demoralization is an example of option 2, while the weapon priority system is option 3. So how to fix these two problems? Well, I'll say right now, weapon priority is only getting fixed after this mini-campaign is over. I don't want to revamp the fighting system around weapon length when the players already have multiple abilities to figure out in addition to any changes I make. So, focusing on demoralization. First, I'm going to assign enemies traits that activate on death and determine how much and which of their allies get demoralized. Second, some enemies will also have traits that trigger status effects on death or demoralization, such as going berserk and ignoring all wounds for a turn. These two should turn the demoralization rule into a combat puzzle, a way for the players to decide between prioritizing loot by deliberately minimizing the chances of the enemy running before death, or a quick, safe insta the fight by making the enemy run as quickly as possible. I should be able to see how well it works at the next playtest on March 3rd, so my next playtest postmortem will address that as well as any other problems that playtest highlights.